Hey everybody, Adam Johnson, response to Gentry's video, Cerebral Palsy Tag, and I'm it. What kind of CP do I have? I have spastic dysplasia. I think I've been mispronouncing that for approximately 22 years now, but that's what I got. How did I get CP? I was born premature. I was born 14 weeks premature. I weighed about 1 pound 10 ounces, and I had 2 collapsed lungs. So that's how I got it. How did I feel about cerebral palsy growing up? I felt pretty good about it growing up. I felt better about it then than I did now in some cases. I think I really didn't used to let it bother me as much as it sometimes will bother me now. Sorry for blocking my lovely face. How has cerebral palsy affected my life? Good and bad. I think it's affected me, well, obviously it affects my legs and, my arms and stuff, and I can't do things as quickly as other people can that are without CP. But other than that, it hasn't really been a bad thing. I've had bad experiences with people just not understanding what I'm going through or whatever, or sort of talking down to me or talking at me instead of talking to me or talking with me. But it's never really been a bad thing. I've had like bad days, bad experiences, but I think that those bad experiences just serve to make me a stronger person. And wow, do I need to shave. What's the next question? Do I ever think about my life without cerebral palsy? I do. It'd be very weird, because I wouldn't know any of the stuff that I know now. I don't think I would like it very much. I wouldn't have as deep of an appreciation for life as I do now. So I think that would be kind of bad. How was my schooling with cerebral palsy? It was good. I was what they call mainstreamed, which means I didn't take any special education classes or anything. And I had an aide to come and walk me around the school and carry my books and stuff, because I really couldn't carry anything because I was less than 90 pounds and could barely carry anything. Just a balance thing. My strength was okay, just still weird. But it was good. Schooling was good. I didn't get made fun of at all, but in retrospect, I mean, everybody in my school was awesome, but had there not been an aide there, I think there might have been more questions posed, and I might have gotten teased, but seeing as there was an authority figure right next to me at all times, I kind of didn't really get made fun of or had a really hard time in school. So it was great. Has my disability changed throughout my life? It's changed a little bit. It's gotten better. I have much more range of motion, ROM as they call it in the occupational therapy world and the physical therapy world. I have much more range of motion than I used to, and the effects are less severe. Sorry, I keep moving into it. My laptop is sitting on my lap, doing what a laptop should do, so I'm trying to adjust where my head is. So it's just gotten better throughout my life. How will things change for people with disabilities? Well, that's a tough question and a pretty cool one. I think I think they've already changed a lot. If you look back in the 60s and 70s, there was a huge disabilities rights movement, which is pretty awesome. If you want to check that out, you should definitely look that up, because it definitely brought us some important legislation and important steps, and just created awareness. And obviously the Americans with Disabilities Act of 1990 was huge for people with disabilities. So now we can kind of get a fair shot at housing and jobs and everything else. So it's been some pretty positive steps, like way before I was born, actually, and even like a year before I was born. And hopefully, we can just spread sort of acceptance, sort of quell some of the fear that people have. I think a lot of people are afraid. I mean, people are afraid to talk to me. I can always tell that they want to ask kind of what's wrong with me. What's wrong with you? And, sometimes they really are scared. And they don't need to be at all. Because, as Gentry said, it's not contagious. So, yeah. And I'm really open about it, and I would rather have somebody ask me all these questions than to just assume that I am, intellectually disabled or challenged, or, whatever else. Because, I've had a lot of experience where people just kind of assume I'm one way just because of the way I walk. Do I believe in God? Yes. Does that help me deal with my disability? Yes. 1,000 times yes. I believe in God because I was really sick when I was a kid, and when I started getting better, I think it was on the dot. It was Good Friday. So absolutely I believe in God, and that does help me with my disability. Like, it doesn't make me walk any better, but it helps me kind of get through it. And I think that it's pretty important. And I've had a lot of people ask me that question, and a lot of able-bodied people, and they would say, wow, if I had a disability, I would be angry at God. And I'm not at all, because I think that having cerebral palsy has taught me such a great deal. And if I didn't have cerebral palsy, I wouldn't have learned that stuff. And if I didn't learn that stuff, I wouldn't be in as good of a position as I'm in now. I'd be very ignorant of sort of how life works. What challenges are, and what it means to really work hard, and so I think it's pretty awesome that I have cerebral palsy. Which kind of leads into the last question. If there was a pill or a cure for cerebral palsy, would I take it? Well, I think I've already kind of taken, to borrow the Matrix analogy, the blue pill or the red pill. I think I've already taken the most important pill. I already have cerebral palsy. I've already been down the rabbit hole. I already know what it's like. So, I don't think I would take a cure. Because if I took the cure, then I wouldn't continue learning. I wouldn't continue, I don't know, would the pill wipe out all of my memories of cerebral palsy? Because then I wouldn't know, I wouldn't know anything. I wouldn't know what my place was in the world. So that's kind of a loaded question, but I don't think I would take it because, first of all, it doesn't really affect me that much. Anyway, I just kind of walk slower, and, I've gotten to a point where it's pretty manageable. I don't really have any pain except when it's going to snow. So, or rain really hard, or whatever. So yeah, I don't think I would take it because it'd be great to walk better, but, it sort of enriches, I don't know about enriches, but it kind of sets a tone for my life. It kind of sets kind of goals for myself. Like, a lot of people will look at me and assume that I can't really do much of anything. And then I say, okay, well, I have to prove this person wrong, and I have to prove that person wrong, and I have to prove that person wrong. And then I just go and I do it. And, you know, when I put my mind to something, I get it done. And I think cerebral palsy is a huge part of that. So if I didn't have cerebral palsy, I'm not sure that I would have that much drive or anything. So, no, I don't think I would take a cure. I kind of like having it, even though it is a pain in the butt sometimes. But it's not really. It's kind of cool. It's neat. I like it. And then, I don't know, people are always kind of impressed. I don't know, not impressed. People say I'm an inspiration, which is a little wonky. Usually they sort of preface it by saying, like, oh, I used to get up and I used to really groan a lot when I got out of bed. But what you go through is so much harder, so now I don't complain when I get out of bed. You're an inspiration. So, is that really me inspiring people? I'm not really sure. I mean, I hope I do in other ways. I think that's pretty cool. I wrote this piece and got it posted on a major motoring enthusiast website about driving with an automatic transmission. And that was pretty cool. I got a lot of positive feedback from that. And yeah, I think cerebral palsy's kind of framed my entire life. That we just kind of like love each other and be there for each other and be kind and, you know, just be friendly and stuff. And I think without cerebral palsy, I don't know that I would have that. So, yeah, that's kind of my video, and I will pass it on to the next person. Well, have a great day, guys. Thanks for watching. Peace and love, to borrow from Ringo. Bye-bye.